Your name?
Yeah, this is Arvind.
Yeah, hi Arvind. Good morning, Arvind.
Very good morning.
Yeah, myself, I'm Babu.
Hi, Babu.
Yeah, hi. um, I have done my MCA 2012.
Okay.
Uh,
Are you new to SAP or you have been working with SAP?
I'm not working with SAP, just I have a little knowledge on
Okay.
administration.
Okay, Babu. So let me introduce about myself. Well, this is Arvind. I am certified from IIM Bangalore for supply chain management and logistics. I have been part of many implementation and support projects of SAP. I have been into very big engagements, which is from mill industry to automobile industries and process industries. Uh, Now, before we go ahead with the training contents and the different, what are the training contents, how are we going to discuss all about? So, so here you are for the training of GATP. So might be Harsha has already sent you the training contents. Did you receive any document of training contents?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so basically the first sessions would be speaking about like what are the basic ingredients which are required for our GATP to go ahead with, and we will also ensure that is there any gaps which are required for us to fulfill before we go ahead with the trainings, and then we will move into the actual training contents. So let me just make you go through the training contents, which actually you might have seen it, but let me make you
Hello?
go through the in detail. Yeah,
Hello, your voice is breaking, Arvind.
okay, 1 minute.
Oh, can you check it?
Let me know if I'm audible now and clear. Babu, am I audible to you
Hello?
now? Yeah, am I audible to you now?
Hello?
Babu, can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's okay.
You are able to hear me, right? Let me know if you are able to see a Word document open for you, which speaks about GATP training contents. Babu, you are there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Babu, can you hear me? You still feel any disturbance in the voice?
Now it's okay, Arvind.
Yeah,
You can
I'm saying
continue.
you can you see the training contents of GATP which is open for you?
Yes, yes. I'm saying what Harsha has sent to me.
Okay, no, I have already opened it for you. You are able to see
Yeah,
my screen, right?
yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so if you see here, like after the training contents here, we have in detail about like how does the overall each and every module will be in detail will be explained to you. So this will be the brief explanation about we'll be first starting with the what is GATP and how it is will be helpful for us, and then we will be going for the basic configuration and the what are the configurations which are required for it, and what are the different types of masters which are required for it, and then after we will be moving into the different methodologies of GATP. So before we move on to methodologies, we will be first speaking about which type of practices they go for this type of methodologies. First we will be seeing about why do they go for this, and then how are they going to do it, and then we will be seeing about the next other consequences for how which the system, the both the parties will be able to get the benefits of this methodologies. So this is the way how actually we are going to go with the training contents which is there. And once you are done with this, we will be speaking about a few sessions will be there where the system checkup and health monitoring systems will be there, which are the final, which will be the last segment of our training contents. So this is the way how we are going to speak about our most of the training contents, and we will be starting our session with the queries you have from the previous sessions, and then we will start with the that this agenda and all. Fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fine. So let me know you are able to see a Word document, a plain Word document, if it is being shown to you now, a plain Word document.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to ask you this so that to ensure that the system is in sync. I mean, your system and my system are in sync. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
So now speaking about GATP. to understand the methodology of this and to understand the functionality of this, we'll try to take a very small example and we will understand how does the consequences help us to understand how is this GATP is able to help us. Maybe it is a manufacturing company or it is a service-based company. So we will take example of Amazon at the e-commerce site. So where basically whenever you are trying to buy some product, whenever you are going to select the product, you will be getting some date, right? Like let us say you are trying to purchase a laptop, and whenever you're trying to like fix your you're trying to firm that order, like you're going to confirm that request, so you'll be getting some date, right? Let us say like uh, 30th of May 2017. So this is some of the date which system has given up, a pop-up has given to you, like this is the date by which you can expect your laptop to be there at your doorstep, right? Babu, you are there?
Okay. Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So can you guess like how does the system really calculate this, or how it was able to give this date for your requested material? Any idea?
Yeah, before the system will check actually the product is available or not. Suppose if the material is available, if the material is not available, we can.
So let us say
Uh,
stock,
yeah.
right? Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Let us say the stock. Let us say like it sees the whether there is a sufficient stock of this or not. So taking that into consideration, it is able to promise the customer. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So now let us try to go for the a bit advanced example here again. So let us try to see if they are, if you are directly trying to place an order to a Lenovo industry or a Lenovo manufacturer, and where you have your specific requirement, that is like you want 1,000 pieces which is of specific to your configuration, which is specific to your requirement, and then you're trying to ask for him like what is the date by which you can give him. So this date, which is all we are speaking about, is called as MAD, that is material availability date,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this material availability date which the system has generated for you is basically it has to go with different parameters, and it has to ensure that the material availability date, that is MAD, is reliable, so that both the parties are benefited, because the customer is ensured about that by this date he is going to receive his product. At the same time, the manufacturer is quite good enough, has the setup that the system has to ensure that, or the whole process has to ensure that the system the requested date is going to be fulfilled to the customer's requirement, right? So if you take the example of this Lenovo manufacturer who is going to have a production of his own process, where he has come, you have placed an order with your specific configuration. So there is every possibility that he may not have the stock because it is specific to the customer requirement. Am I right? So in those parameters, even still you expect, as a customer, you expect some MAD, that is material availability date, to be placed on against your order, right? In those there is not only the stock, there are still a few more capabilities, like capabilities of the resources, lead times, and many other parameters has to be considered by the system to ensure that the MID which has been given to the customer can become more reliable. So in those parameters, we will be understanding about what are the different methodologies we have and how are they going to be helpful. So I hope you are able to get my point, right? So whenever the MID is going to be there, not only the stock, there are still many other parameters by which still we can give the reliable MID to the customer, right? Okay. So you know what is the lead time means all about?
Yeah, the time taken to produce the
Time taken?
material.
Yes, exactly. Time taken to produce a material. Very wonderful.
Mhm.
So my lead times may vary. So according to my business process, my lead times may vary. So what could be my business process by which my lead times may vary? Are you aware of the concept called as make to order, make to stock? And make to engineering scenario?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are aware of make to engineering scenario also, right? Make to engineering?
Mm, no, I am not aware of that. Like,
Okay. I'll tell you, we will take very small example for this, and to understand how does the lead time vary for these different scenarios and how it is going to be helpful for us in our concept of GATP.
okay.
Okay. So to take the example of this. So let us take the example of preparation of sandwich. Well, can you please tell me what are the different ingredients which are required for me to make a sandwich?
Bread.
Wonderful. Bread, yes.
You have some vegetables, spices. Yeah.
Veggies. Good enough. So these are like, maybe I may need some sauce, so let us say. So these are like few typical required materials for me to prepare my sandwich. Good enough. So how does the same process of making a sandwich, the same industry, how it can vary according to these three different business strategies? So let us take example of make to stock. That is, the material is prepared before the order has reached to the manufacturer. It is called as make to stock. So you are trying to stock up the material before you have hands in your you have the orders in your hand. So that comes under make to stock scenario. Am I right?
Okay.
How about make to order? So maybe you may go for MACD something as such, where you will be given like option like he may ask you like, sir, do you need more veggies or do you need more spices to be added, where he still is able to take the order from the customer and is able to assemble it once the customer has confirmed the order. Am I right? That comes under
Yeah.
make to order scenario.
Okay.
How about make to engineering scenario? So it might be a person, he needs like for his sandwich he needs 3 slices of bread. Basically we know that the sandwich has about 2 slices of bread, right? But it is customer specific requirement that he needs 3 slices of bread, and he needs might be more veggies or more spices. So it is in specific to customer requirement, he has to assemble the sandwich. So then it comes under make to engineering scenario. So what do
Okay.
you understand is the same process of making a sandwich, it is going to vary with according to different business processes which is there. And what do you understand is at the same time the lead times are also going to vary, because for the make to stock, as the order comes he would be able to serve him directly because it is already stocked up. He need not wait for the time. But for the make to order, he need to wait for some more time because assembly has to happen once the order has been confirmed. Am I right?
Yes.
But how about make to engineering? It requires much more higher time because the one who is going to assemble, he has to understand the requirements of the customer and then he has to start his processing. Am I right? So
Okay.
obviously it requires more lead times, right?
Yeah.
So the system, when it is trying to give the availability, it also should ensure that what are the different types of lead times it has. According to that, it has to give the MAD. So the MAD for the same sandwich will not be the same for the three scenarios. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So what is the one which is actually trying to drive this whole process, whether it should be make to order or make to stock or make to engineering? We will understand this with the concept called as push and pull process.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, whenever if you see the example of make to engineering scenario, it is more customer centric. Am I right? When I say customer centric, that means the requirements which have been driven by the customer are trying to drive the whole requirement and how it has to assemble, how it has to be designed, everything as such. It is in the make to engineering scenario. It is derived by the customer specific requirements. So it is customer centric, right? Whereas if you see for the make to stock scenario, it is not customer centric. So he has already made up the stock, and once the customer has requested for the existing material, he is able to deliver it. But how about make to order? It is part of customer centric, and at the same time it is also having the part of make to stock scenario. So the process of push and pull process will actually defines you whether it should be make to stock or make to engineering or make to order scenario. So when if the process of push process is higher, it comes under make to stock scenario. And if the process of pull process is higher, it is make to engineering scenario. And if you have a very good equal share of push and pull process, is called as make to order scenario. If you take the example of make to order scenario, if you try to understand more about in make to order scenario, what we see is basically the order the completion of the sandwich, that is the assembling of sandwich, has not started once the order has been given, but before that there was still some homework which was done by the manufacturer. Was like, he has already chopped up the bread, he has already chopped up the vegetables, he has already chopped up the he has already made a stock of spices and sauces. Only once the customer has given the requirement, he was just able to assemble the sandwich according to his requirement. So still there was some process of push process, right? That is, he has already stocked up the materials which are still required for him, but he has not assembled them. So still there was a process of push, right? Hope you got me.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So the process of push and pull processes is leading to whether to you should go for a make to order scenario, or make to stock, or make to engineer scenario. So this push and pull processes will actually define which type of business scenario we are trying to handle. Hope you got me.
Okay.
Yeah. So in any business process or in any supply chain process, basically there are three different types of flows which we have to understand. Material flow, information flow, financial documents flow. So these are three different types of flows which we see in any supply chain process, whether it is from upstream or downstream. So you may ask me, what does an upstream means or what does a downstream means, right?
Mhm.
So in any supply process or any supply chain process, you expect a manufacturer, and the different players may vary. Maybe I may have suppliers, I may have distributors, I may have wholesalers, I may have retailers, then I may have my final end customers, right? So the number of players may vary according to the business process and the complexity of business, right?
Yes, yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this process, so whenever that any information flow, if it moves from manufacturer to the end customer, is called as downstream.
Okay.
The reverse of this, that is, if it is trying to move from this direction from end customers to the manufacturers, it is called as upstream. So maybe the number of players which are going to be there may vary. For example, if you take the example of same Amazon, you may not be interacting with directly with suppliers, distributors, anything as such. So end customer is trying to directly respond to is able to communicate to the manufacturer. Like even if you take the example of Lenovo, the another example which I said you, where the customer himself can place an order to directly to a Lenovo manufacturer. You got me?
Okay. Mhm.
So the number of players may vary, but overall you will ensure that it's in a downstream and upstream. You still find different types of players which are going to there, and all the different lead times which are there, all the material availability which is there, all those are going to be impacting your overall MAD of your material. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got what is an upstream and downstream, right? So can you give me a small example for downstream?
For downstream.
For downstream, flow of material can be the example of downstream, right? So like manufacturing happens first, and then it will move to suppliers, then the distributors, wholesalers, retailers, and customers. So example for upstream would be the flow of demand. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Babu, are you clear with my point? Can you
Yes,
please
yes,
respond?
yeah. Yes,
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 right?
yeah.
Yep, yep. So if you see, if you go back here, what we found is there are many other parameters which are trying to make the MAD to be vary or influence the MAD for the given requirement. Am I right? So it can be due to the business processes, different business processes which may impact, or it can be still, as I say, if you see here the capabilities of resources. When I say the capabilities of resources, you have different types of resources in a plant, and their capabilities have to be considered. So many other scenarios are there for us to discuss in the GATP, and how does every methodology of GATP is going to impact us. We'll be discussing in detail about them in our next coming sessions, which will be all about the different methodologies of GATP and how are they being used in the different business processes. So you have capable to promise, for example, which actually ensures for the which is the best methodology, which speaks about the resources and their capabilities and how we can channelize them. And then we have multi-level ATP, which is another type of production process which will help you to understand about the value addition which we can go for. And we have rule-based ATP, so which is also one of the very good example for us to understand how does the product substitutions and locale substitution will be helpful for us. So they are like, we have very good advanced technologies of GATP. How are they going to work? We have BOP also, back order processing, which is also been used, and we also have some basic ATP methods. How are they been defined and how are they classified? We'll be discussing about them in detail in the upcoming sessions. Fair? Yeah. SCORE, that is supply chain operation reference model, is a standard process which has been used through in all the supply chain processes. So basically, which speaks about, like, we have different segments of processing, that is make, plan. Babu, you were trying to ask me something?
No, no, you can continue.
Yeah. So make, plan, source, deliver, and return. So these are like 5 different segments of any supply process. So how are these 5 segments have been influenced when you are trying to speak about different methodologies of GATP, and where do they play a prominent role? That we'll be discussing in detail about when you are trying to learn more about those specific individual methodologies of GATP. Right?
Okay.
Any questions?
Hello.
Yeah, please tell me, Babu. I'm hearing you.
Uh, uh, Arvind, I have a question.
Yes, please tell me.
See, if we're doing the GATP in APO,
Mm-hmm.
right? Actually, that will execute it in directly in APO, or the results will flow from APO to ECC, where we can see the exact dates.
Okay. So I don't want to mess you up with my what are the solution, because there are many other additional topics which you have to learn before we go with this to address your question. But there is a concept called transfer of requirement, that is TOR. So which you have to understand, where, like, how does the transfer of requirement happen from ECC to APO, and when does it trigger, and how would be the results will be populated. So when you say about the MAD, that is whatever we are speaking about, the MAD is like material availability date. So it should be at the 3 levels you can expect. It is a header, item, and schedule and level. So the
Okay.
specific requirement which you are trying to flow, like how does the transfer of requirement is happening and how it is able to respond to it, it purely depends on how does the TOR is happen. So I'm just giving you in a nutshell. I'm trying to address your question in a nutshell, because there are many other topics which you have to know before in hand, before we can address you the exactly in your terms.
Okay.
So APO is there for you to plan for a particular specific material. It will be able to give you the reliable answer or the reliable MAD. that it only depends on what type of settings which you have maintained, what type of methodology you have used, and how are you trying to plan that material. According to all the scenarios, it is going to give the MAT. You got me?
Okay. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we can see the results in ECC.
Yes, obviously we can see, because you are trying to confirm an order, so that is what we are trying to send a customer, right? So obviously you have to see it in ECC, right? So API is still a planning box, it is not an execution box, so obviously you will be able to see it in the ECC.
Okay, okay. And you just tell me the simple a business process, just as in simple 2 3 words, like how it's going to be in ECC through APO. Just tell me a
I didn't
simple.
get you, sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Actually, I want to know that the simple a business process, just a simple business like
Yes,
uh,
obviously we will discuss. See, basically we have different types of ATP methodologies. We have basic
okay,
methods, we have advanced methods. So once you
okay,
are going to start with the basic methods, I will be showing you like how the basic requirements are going to flow and how does the basic methods will be helpful. And then we will go for the advanced methods, how are they going to be helpful. So first we will be discussing about the basic methods and then we will be going for the advanced methods. This
okay,
is the way
okay.
how we actually move into the subject actually. So we don't directly jump into the advanced methods. We
Yeah,
first
no,
go
no,
with the basic methods and then we'll go for advanced methods.
no. I'm just asking you that just outlines, just how it could be like the process. I mean, like the business process. Just a
Okay, you
simple one or
okay, okay,
two steps.
okay, got you. So uh, to just make you understand about, I will take you the example of CTP, capable to promise, and I will make you understand how does the business process do vary and how the system is going to respond to it. So let us say that we are trying to take the example of assembling of a laptop. Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So when I say assembling of laptop, basically I may need different types of materials. So that is we call it as a BOM, right? Bill of materials. Hope you are aware of it.
Okay.
You are aware of BOM. What does the BOM is all about and functionality of BOM, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So let us say like it needs a keyboard, it needs a mouse, it needs some screws and nuts, it needs a processor, it needs a RAM.
Mm-hmm.
Say so all these materials. So basically, if you see all these materials, we can basically classify these materials into two ways. So it is called as functional and innovative. So why does the classification has come? Like what was the reason why the planning of these materials are changing? So when you take the materials which comes under functional in their nature, so basically the way how they are processed, the way how they are procured, they are not like huge change in their processes. Like for example, let us say the example of cereals like sugar, wheat, rice, anything as such. The way how we consume them or the way how we are trying to get them, the materials, still they are materials, right? So the way how they have been processed and all is not going to vary, right? So like you're going to ensure that you're going to stock up the food for you for 6 months of time. So there is a way how the functional materials are there, but innovative in their nature, the materials which are innovative in their nature, they cannot be used the same traditional methodologies of processing and procuring. Am I right? Because
Yeah.
the way how they are been they have like exponential changes in the process of production or the process of their utilization. Let us take the example of laptops even. So if you go 10 to 15 years ago, maybe we don't have this many configurations, we don't have this many variants to select, we don't have any other options. Like when you go for purchasing a computer, you have a predefined configured laptop or a PC is there for you, which you have to take it and get to your home. But now the things have changed. The laptops, they are innovative in their nature. The mobiles are also innovative in their nature. We have multiple variants for us. We have multiple options for us to choose. So these are innovative nature. They cannot be stocked up in the same fashion as how we are trying to do with the sugar or rice or wheat. So the way how the materials have been processed, it is going to vary according to the whether they are be functional or innovative. Hope you got me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So even when you're speaking about innovative, how higher they are innovative, I said you like make to order or make to engineering scenario. So the more the innovative, you will go for more with those business processes, and according to that, you are going to plan for this business, or you are going to plan for those materials. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you see here the BOM, keyboard, mouse, the BOM of this laptop, that is the keyboard, mouse, screws, processor and RAM. So basically the way the materials which are going to be there, they are not planned in the same fashion is what you have understood. Maybe you maybe stock up the screws and nuts, or let us say even the keyboard, because there is no tremendous change in the keyboard or screws and nuts. But of course the processors, to yesterday was an i3, today is i5, tomorrow you may be having i7, i9,
Mhm.
whatnot. It may do vary. So the overall agenda of any process is to ensure that they have to run with the lesser inventory
Mhm.
and higher reliable MAD.
Okay.
Because when I have the higher inventory, I may have to ensure there are additional losses, or I may have to bear the additional cost of inventory, right? Maybe the maintenance charges, I may have to ensure the warehouse maintenance. Many things as such may come when I have to have the additional inventory. So every time having a higher inventory is not a proper solution for me. But how soon I can ensure that my reliable MAD is there? At the same time, I should also ensure that there is the lesser the lead times, right? Because when I have higher lead times, obviously again I may lose my customer. Again, it depends on which type of customer segment we are trying to handle. You got me?
Yeah. Yes.
So this methodology, if you take the example of CTP, where it speaks about the capable to promise. So though you do not have real sufficient stock with you in your hand, but still taking the consideration of resources and their capabilities, you are still able to promise him that, buddy, I can give you within the 30th of May or whatever the date, because you are still aware of what are the capabilities of your plant and the different resources you have and how you can plan according to them. So though you basically don't have the stock enough in your hand, but still you are able to promise them. But if you take the example of functional in the nature example, where you are only trying to see the availability of the stock and then you're able to promise, that is the way how the functional. But in innovative in the nature, the business, if it is more into innovative, obviously you cannot expect the same basic methods to be there. So I said you right, we basically have basic ATP methods and advanced methods. How do they come into play, and where we'll be able to understand more in detail when you're speaking more about the topics,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So here why I took the example of laptop is because here it is a combination of both functional and innovative. That is the reason why I took the example of here. So how does the combination of this both will be able to combine, and how it is able to ensure the MAD, that we'll be discussing more in detail.
Okay.
Sounds good? Or you find any difficulty in the example?
Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I can understand.
Yeah. Any questions, Babu? Till what are the topics which I have explained to you? You are fine with them?
Yeah. I have covered MATP, multi-level.
No. I have not. Yeah, it is there in our syllabus. MLATP. It is also called as MLATP.
Uh-huh.
Hope you are able to see it is in the ninth ninth point.
Okay.
Any other questions, Babu?
Yeah. It's okay, Arvind.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I appreciate all your time in hearing me all this time. Thank you so much. Harsha, you're there?
Yes.
Okay. Harsha will. Yeah. Harsha, Babu, thank you so much for both of you. I appreciate all your time and patience. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
we will call up the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Babu.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.